I had a fascination with music at such a young age. Um, my family used to play music all the time growing up, and my dad had a record player, and I think my mom had a player also. And I didn't know much about the rock scene until my early Generation X, of course, when I started seeing bands on TV, and my brother was fascinating with them, my oldest brother, and Tears for Fears was on there, and a bunch of other ones. And I was like, that melody sounded really nice, but at a young age, I didn't know how they were doing it. I didn't know what that guitar was called, a guitar. I learned that in like school. They learned what a guitar was, what bass and drums were later on. And I thought everything was always an orchestra, but I finally realized that there was, what do they call it, secular music. And I never really got any lessons growing up, but with a passion, you have to have a drive. So if you're going to learn from others, you're going to watch what they're doing, you're going to ask questions. So yeah, I got a little bit of lessons growing up, but if I didn't remember what they explained to me and the format, that how they did it, I wasn't going to remember all of it. And it took me a long time to get the guitar. When I first got the guitar, I was just making a bunch of noises. I didn't know what chords were called. I didn't know I was playing an E string or a D string. I was just playing it. And when someone explained it to me, it was just like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. It's like a whole different language. But as you get older, I believe your brain forms, whether it matures or not. You know what I mean? I think at a certain level, your brain does start to mature and you start to gain knowledge and process more fluently is what I meant to say. And so like now we got YouTube, but like growing up I just tried to like mimic the sound. I heard it on the radio and I would like try to find it on the guitar, but I didn't know what chords I was playing. I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I didn't know, but I know I could play a melody on one string like so I could find that down here and it might be off, but I'm playing that that rhythm chord. And so you finally learn more about the instrument as you play, as you get older, and you could play any song on any scale, on anywhere. Whether if that song was created in that style or not, you could play it anywhere on the scale. And it was just, I was like, wow. So like when I do my bends and I don't think I can play a song all the way through, and I don't know how to read music. I've gotten better over the years with friends telling me what a D and an A and E. I've had friends try to explain tabs. They're like, what? You don't know how to read tabs? It's so easy. But it's easy for them. It's not easy for me. And they're like, you're just not comprehending it. And I tried it over and over, and I just, the 1, 2, 3 change, 1, 2, 3 change, 1, 2, 3, 5, and a D, F, F, A. That's not how I play. I played just freestyle. Because if I'm thinking about chords and where a chord's going and where my fingers are going to play on a chord next, I'm not going to be able to play. It's a freedom. It's a free state of mind, and you know, I've learned a lot of chords over the years with the internet and other people playing. But you know, it's up to me. You know, I'm the one that makes the sound out of it. So I can write little freestyle songs, and everybody's like, "You wrote that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I wrote that song," but really it was just a freestyle song. I was in the moment, and usually the great artists make their music in the moment, and they're like, wow, I just created something. Sometimes they don't want to record it because it's so phenomenal and it makes them cry or laugh or giggle, and that's what it should be like, you know, intimate. And put it on a CD, sell it, but play what you want to play. And it's like Green Day said, Billy Joel, he said, it's an experiment in the garage. When you get out there, you don't know what you're doing, but you can play around with it and try new things and things that you haven't tapped into, someone tapped into like 60 years ago. But it's a great feeling when you do tap into that. You're like, whoa, I didn't know that I could go this far in it. And then there's just no limits with the guitar. There's no boundaries whatsoever.